Hello children, we are with the last section of dropping and filling the missing values in Pandas. In the last video, we tried to find out how you can delete a particular record from a data frame which is having NaN values with which function? Drop now function, isn't it? And we had a lot of examples. I remember we have finished that with the most simple example which we can create. You have to try it out and then you should go to what we are going to deal today, that is how to fill the missing values. First one was to how to delete the missing values. The next topic, today's topic, is to how to fill the missing values. Now this was discussed already with one example. Remember in our data frames assignment, practical application assignment question, when Hari asked me how you can update a NaN value or how you can change the NaN values, I had shown this with one example, this Filner. Now we are going into the detail. Now even in the new example, when we create it, you should know that every function has so many arguments inside our Pandas or Python. These arguments at a stretch it is very difficult to remember. So basically what you need to do, you need to keep track of this. Track in the sense one function, its arguments. You should try it out and only then you will get the idea. All of a sudden remembering all these arguments which can be given in different function is very difficult. So remember, try and then you will succeed at last. Even though this being the difficult phase where you are not able to understand everything in one stretch, I will repeat the whole thing once again with another set of example if you really need it. Okay, so do let me know how you have gone to the example, and if any example you are feeling that should be again remodified or reconstructed, you should always inform. Okay, otherwise we will always think that you understand and we will go in that phase only. So let's move on. Filling the missing data with Filner. This is what we are going to do. There is one more function called as replace, okay, which we have seen. The example, we are not going to make anything complicated. This is it, a dictionary of list. You have first score, second score and third score. Where first score also you have a NaN value, second score also you have a NaN value, third score also you have a NaN value. Okay. How to create a data frame from this we already know, so we are creating it directly. We are not printing it. We know when we print it what will happen. If I am not wrong, yeah, the NaN values are coming like this. This is it. This is the printed values. Okay. So what you are doing here is, if I wanted to actually fill the existing NaN values with 0, we can do with the Filner function. The Filner function will help us to fill whatever type of arguments you need or whatever types of values you need instead of the NaN values. So when you try to execute this, this is the output you are getting, okay, where you can see 0.0, 0.0, 0.0 came. These are the values which was NaN earlier. But after that, if you again print your data frame, the zeros which you created with Filner is not reflected inside your function. Why? Because that in place argument is missing here. Okay. So if you again print it, you will see the original data frame is still having the NaN values itself. So Filner is just a temporary way of filling it. If you wanted to see that changes reflected in your data frame, you need to give the argument, that is your optional argument called as in place equal to true, which I am going to show you in another example. So, this is the main function which you will be using, okay? Filner with any values you want, 0, 1, 2, 3 depending upon your wish, basically for NaN, okay no? Now, suppose if I wanted to fill the missing value, that is your NaN values, with the previous value, okay? So, you need to get an idea about the original value here. This is your previous value here 56, this is your previous value here 90, and this one does not have a previous value. So, if you give the new statement, that is print df filner method equal to pad, pad will actually take the previous values and fill the NaN. That means the output would be like this. See, 56 was the previous value for this, so that got changed. Here it was 90, that got changed. This didn't change because it didn't have a previous value. The column itself started with NaN, so it remained the same. So, what is pad doing? That's a argument given along with, that's a value given along with this argument called as method, which will fill the NaN value with the previous one. So, I hope you got the idea clearly. Whereas Filner is just taking the value which you wanted to fill directly and filling it. Numerical values are taken. You can also try with, yes, of course, your string values and see the change by yourself. So, method equal to pad is over. Now, the same thing can be done with bfill, but with the next one. So, what is the next ones here? So, this is the previous one which you filled out. For example, this is the original value. The next ones of this doesn't have a next one. This has an next one as 95. This has an next one as 40. So, if instead of method equal to pad, if you write method equal to bfill, stands for before fill. Okay, no. Then the previous values are coming. See, 95 got here. 40 went that side also. Here it's still NaN because there is no next value here, because that's the last value under this data frame. So, that means you can fill it with various aspects, but all this filling is not reflected in your data frame. Why? Because you have not given the argument in place. Now comes what I told. Suppose if I want the NaN values to be filled with, instead of 0, see absent or AB, I have given absent here, and I am giving the next argument, which is actually an optional argument, as in place equal to true. Then what happens? This change is reflected in the original data frame. That means from this moment onwards, instead of NaN, the original print df will also give you the NaN values replaced with absent, whereas the old one, if you just try with your print and you give inside print this filner function with respect to the argument you have given, make the changes in the print only. That will never have a change where in your original data frame, but here it will have. I have given 2 and shown you, you can try with these 2, and you can see that I have given here absent that time. See, I have given like this, df of third score dot filner. That means specifically I created the NaN values for third score, not I created specifically, I replaced the NaN values of third score with absent, because I have given df of third score. We can also give the column index in the numerical style there, okay. But you can also give directly df dot filner. Now see, I did this first and then I gave the argument as in place equal to true. So, automatically that is reflected. Then only I gave df dot filner AB in place equal to true. So, what happens? That change is reflected in all other places. See, AB, AB, except absent. Why? Because absent already got in place or already that change got reflected. So, that is now never going to fill with AB, because in Filner only if a NaN value is there, that will be changed with what your required or your corresponding given values. So, no other value will be replaced. So, absent is not a NaN value. So, that will remain the same, whereas the other two change to AB column. So, this is with Filner function. So, that completes our Filner's argument. Okay. Now comes replace. That means instead of Filner, you can also use a new function called as to_replace. Now, what is to_replace doing? Okay, I have here the function name is actually replace. I shouldn't be writing this here with that, yeah, this is the way, introducing to_replace. Again, I remember replace I had discussed in that example. So, function is instead of Filner, df.replace. Inside that function, the argument is to_replace. What is to be replaced? np.nan has to be replaced with value 1001. That means, not like our Filner, it can replace any value with any new values. That means, existing values inclusive of your NaN or a valid numerical value can also be exchanged or remodified with a new value with the help of replace function. So, basically it takes two arguments. First one is which one to replace. So, to_replace is equal to np.nan means I wanted to replace the NaN values. You cannot give NA in there. Directly you cannot give, because it's a keyword present with numpy. That is why I have given np.nan. So, when you want to run this particular statement in your Python, you have to import what? Yes, numpy also and alias it with np. So, it's going to find out the NaN values and replace the NaN value with 1001. If you want, you can replace any value with new value. So, here again I recreated that data frame once again. So, the earlier reflections with that AB and absent and all is removed. I once again created that data frame and then again I executed. So, that is why here you can see that 1001 is replaced with the NaN values. You got it? So, if you wanted to see the change perfectly, as I told earlier, if you want, you can give in place equal to true. So, it will be reflected completely in your data frame. Okay. So, you can try out both this. So, two functions are introduced for filling the data. Basically, for filling the missing value, the only function is Filner. Replace function can do for any values. Then there is a concept called as null. Now, I had given one assignment earlier. In that assignment, I had given the clue to use null for finding out the missing values. So, here I am going to say that or explain that in a better manner, so that you will get an idea about how to use it. Is null, you know that when is used with a function, it always returns true or false. We are checking whether the value is null or not. Okay. So, if I simply write print df.isNull, you are checking whether the value inside df is having NaN value or not. That is, null is actually another way of putting our NaN value, or null is the one which identifies the NaN value. So, here this will return true whenever you find a NaN value. See, the original data frame, you had three NaN values, true, 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 came for those NaN value. All others are showing false because all other values are not null values. So, what is isNull doing? isNull returns a true value if you find a NaN value, not a number value. Okay, no? Now, I have shown how to do that with your corresponding program also. That time that function is, that function's bracket is removed. See, it will show error, that is why it's removed. If df of third score equal to means df of third score dot is null, that means if any of the value under df third score is null, you will find, because third score you have one null value, you are showing all other values, that is not null values. So there is null, there is not null, there is null and not null. So automatically you are now showing all the not null values. So answer will be 40, 80, 98, that is the original value which was not null values of third score here. Okay, if you want you can check out with your this one. See, these three values are shown. So I can also write print df third score dot null. So if you write print df third score dot null, it will show the null value. That is, only one value will be displayed. Only one value means it will just show the first value. I hope you got it. So this is how the answer will come. You need to only worry about this. Third score is again come because we have extracted exclusively one particular column from our data frame. Okay, so this completes our dropping and filling of your missing values under pandas. Now you need to be very clear, because this particular section you will have a lot of output based question from here. So if you can't understand, it is very important that you intimate. Once again we will go to from the beginning, so you will have some idea about what we were talking. We started with dropping. Okay, yeah, so two functions dropping. I used two different examples for dropping and filling. This was dropping and the example was with this. The first function we had was drop now function without any argument. So automatically all the NaN values are deleted. As you can see here, the next function was with drop now, where you had a particular argument called as axis, which can be given with 1 or columns, or with row or 0. Then it will only display those columns where no NaN values are found. So the other two are automatically omitted. Remember, this will not be reflected in the original data frame, it is just printing it. If you wanted to get it reflected, you know now what to do. In place equal to true has to be given there. Yeah, then you had how equal to all, that means all the value which you have there will be just taken. All the records, if you have one record with the entire thing as NaN, will be deleted. There is no such record here, only 1 or 2 areas are having NaN, so nothing is dropped here. And then you have subset, where you are specifically finding whether any of this name or preter score is having it, and if name or preter score is having, that column will be deleted. Here name is not having, so name came, preter score is having a NaN value, so that is automatically deleted. Deleted means printing time it is not shown. Then any, as I told that it is same as the second output, and then I showed you this. Remember, this in place equal to true can be given along with your other arguments, so that the changes will be reflected. Then only we move on to Filner, and this Filner also had certain specific argument. I used another example where first score, second score, third score was been given, and in all these lists I had given one NaN value, and we used Filner, where definitely you have a argument. An argument is mandatory there. In drop now we never had any argument. That is a comparison. Drop now will automatically drop the NaN values. Here if you say 0, then only it will fill it with 0. Whatever you wanted to fill it with the NaN values, you have to specify it here. NaN basically goes for numeric, so we specified with 0 because all our values are numeric here. Then of course we had Filner method equal to pat, which will fill the previous values. method equal to bfill will fill the next values, that is after that. Then you can also fill with string values, where I tried to put our in place equal to true. So, when I show you all these examples, I am showing with one example each. You can try with putting it together and see. Remember, all these arguments cannot come together, but along with all these arguments, you can give in place equal to true and see whether it is reflected or not. And then we had our replace function. Okay. So, the function which is helping us to replace any value with a new value. The any value can be given here and the new value can be given here. To underscore replace and value are arguments. So, with this we are concluding the dropping and filling of missing values and the pandas. What is left out is connectivity, that is how to connect your Python and SQL. So, in the next video we will be starting with that, but after completing that, one more video session I will put where all the examples will be again reframed in another way, which will touch all the function which we have covered. So, either it will come as an assignment or it will come as a review session. Thank you.